A cycle of anger isn't healthy.
I'll be healthy again, as soon as I make a couple of cheaters pay for blowing up my life.
There were a number of times when you or a member of your family needed a favor. This is a situation where you owe me one. Have a nice rest of your day.
It sounds like someone deliberately tried to hurt you.
Sounds like attempted murder.
Can't imagine how terrified you must have been.
I found out who did this.
I love you, Derek.
For one night, let me remind you who you still are.
I fell in love with an inconvenient man.
Now you have to deal with the inconvenient consequences. You see how that works?
You couldn't possibly hurt me more than you already have.
Don't try me.
We've got a problem. Protecting the family is our priority.
Agreed.
Beyond the Gate spoilers for the week of January 26th to 30th imply that the soap will have a new crossover storyline with The Young and the Restless. Plus, there's Trouble in Paradise for Isaiah Hawthorne, David Lamy Freeb, and Eva Thomas, Amber Michelle, thanks to Catherine Cat Richardson, Colby Natasha Nixon. Next week we'll have plenty of bombshell moments, so let's talk about all the juicy drama that will unfold. First off, Beyond the Gate spoilers note that another crossover storyline with the Wyandar could be on the horizon. Kat and Chelsea Hamilton, Ronnie Rose Mantilla, prep for their Fenmore's meeting, midweek, which is the very same Fenmore's luxury clothing store owned by Wyandar's Lauren Fenmore, Tracy E. Bregman. It looks like the cousins and besties will hope that the brand will carry their Chelsea Cat purses. So how will the meeting go? While there's no confirmation that Lauren will be on BTG next week, there's always a chance that the new soap surprises fans, right? Then again, Lauren may head to Fairmont Crest at some point in the near future. After all, February sweeps is only a week away, so time will tell. Meanwhile, Kat will be a busy bee during the week of January 26th as Beyond the Gate spoilers note that she'll be in for a shock and her mom, Nicole Dupree, Daphnee Duplaix, will give her an earful. It sounds like Kat will be surprised when she sees her mom all dolled up for a date with Dr. Carlton Fitzgerald, Robert Christopher Riley. Still, she'll also be completely caught off guard when she sees her dad, Ted Richardson, Keith D. Robinson, out on a date with Shanice Johnson, Ernestine Johnson. Kat will have a lot of ideas running through her head after both moments, so will her mom offer some truth bombs, like Kat needs to let her parents live their lives? Will Kat like the idea of her dad with Shanice or give him a hard time? Fans will have to tune in to find out. In other Kat news, she'll clash with Eva, nothing new about that. Except that, after the two sisters fight, Isaiah will be rubbed the wrong way by his girlfriend's actions. Will Kat become an issue for these two? Only time will tell. Speaking of Shanice, Leslie Thomas, Trisha Mangrant, will plot a scheme, and it looks like the nurse will be her target. Leslie hates that Shanice has something with her teddy bear. So what kind of extremes will Leslie take to stop this budding romance? Across town, Bradley Smitty Smith, Mike Manning, will spend the entire night out of his family home, which will leave Martin Richardson, Brandon Claiborne, shocked and possibly worried. Will Smitty share the news of his undercover case with Jacob Hawthorne, Jiber Horges? Whatever happens during their all-night investigation may cause friction between Jacob and his police chief dad, Elon Hawthorne, Malachi Malik, as the two will clash. Elsewhere, Naomi Hawthorne, Ariel Prepetty, will continue to hide her BRCA gene results from Jacob. The only silver lining to all this is that she'll have Ashley Morgan, Jen Jacob, to lean on. On the topic of Ashley, she'll play mediator when Derek Baldwin, Ben Gavin, and Grayson Perez, Jordi Villasuso, have an altercation. How ugly will this get between Ashley's ex and new love interest? Over to Bill Hamilton's Time and Kyle duet, he'll get some concerning news regarding some routine test results. Interestingly enough, his wife, Hayley Hamilton, Mokita Goings, will continue to lose patience where her scheme to off Bill is concerned. Hayley's frustration may turn to fear if Bill's test results come back filled with traces of poison. Back to Isaiah, Beyond the Gate spoilers for the week of January 26th hint that he'll get propositioned by none other than Daphnee Duplaix, Karla Mosley. Still, Danny's interested in him for modeling, and modeling only. Will he accept her offer and join her agency? More on Danny, as Andre Richardson, Sean Freeman, will plan a romantic surprise for her. After kissing Bill this past week, does Danny deserve such a wonderful husband? At the casino, Beyond the Gate spoilers for the week of January 26 to 30th imply that Joey Armstrong, John Lindstrom, teaches someone a lesson, and this might be about Vanessa McBride's, Lauren Bulioli, Lance Salander, Kova McClure. He's the husband of an escort client, and Lance gave Vanessa a very hard time when he accosted her last week. Joey may feel as if he needs to pay the price for pushing his girlfriend around, so is Lance a goner? In more news about Vanessa, she'll prove she can handle her own business, so will she get even with Lance on her own terms? Finally, Anita Dupree, Tamara Tunie, will struggle with her breast cancer condition and chemotherapy. During the Monday, January 26 episode, Vernon Dupree, Clifton Davis, and Sharon Winger, Bonita Brisker, will continue to worry about Anita's collapse, but it looks like she'll end up being okay. Still, as the days go by, Anita will suffer a loss, and it looks like she may start to lose her hair. Beyond the Gate spoilers for the week of January 26 to 30th imply some interesting moments over the next 5 days, as the chaos and campiness continue in Fairmont Crest. Prepare for a week where the past doesn't just knock on the door, it kicks it down. The much-anticipated crossover with the young and the restless begins in earnest, bringing with it a hurricane of chaos that will center squarely on Isaiah and Eva's fragile new beginning, while other Port Charles power players scramble to control the fallout. Here's what's about to unfold. Monday, January 26th, an uninvited guest. The week opens at the Gates, where Eva is finalizing plans for a high-stakes charity gala, hoping the positive press will help Isaiah's mayoral image. However, the atmosphere shifts dramatically with the arrival of a sleek, out-of-town car. Stepping out is Sally Spectra, the fiery and fashion-forward CEO of Spectra Fashions, now a subsidiary of Chancellor Winters. She's not just in Port Charles for business, she's a close friend of Daniel Romalotti Jr. from Y&R, who reached out to her with concerns about his sister, Lucy Romalotti. Sally's direct, Genoa City-style confrontation with Isaiah is immediate and jarring. She presents him with a dossier, compiled by Daniel and Lucy's mother, Christine Blair, containing sealed juvenile records and psychiatric evaluations from Lucy's teenage years, all under the name Kat. Sally accuses Isaiah of exploiting a vulnerable woman with a known history of trauma and identity fragmentation. Isaiah is left reeling, his defense that Eva is different sounding hollow even to his own ears. Tuesday, January 27th, Eva's echoes. Eva, initially furious at Sally's intrusion, experiences a catastrophic episode triggered by the sight of her childhood photo in the dossier. Fragmented, terrifying memories of a dark room, a locked closet, and a man's angry voice, not Isaiah's, flood her mind. She doesn't become Kat, but instead retreats into a near-catatonic state, whispering, "The key, he lost the key." While Isaiah tends to a shattered Eva, Sally meets with Julian Ashford at his offices. Julian, seeing an opportunity to finally topple Isaiah, confirms Sally's worst suspicions, painting Isaiah as a manipulative sociopath who collects broken women. He even implies Isaiah's first wife's death was convenient. Sally leaves more determined than ever, placing a call to Genoa City that will bring Michael Baldwin to Port Charles by week's end to explore legal options. Wednesday, January 28th, crossover conspiracies. The crossover expands as Noah Newman arrives, ostensibly to cover the charity gala for Restless.